Okay? Same signs, positive, different signs, negative. This time we're working with decimals and fractions. You have your basic calculator, so you can do the decimals pretty easy. Looking here is our question in problem A. Are we going to get a positive or a negative? What tells us it's negative?
Those are different signs.
It's different signs. We're going to get negative what? Negative 9. Here's our answer. Okay, here we're dealing with fractions. And just like always, we have to take care of our fractions before we can do anything else. Are our fractions ready to go, or do we need to do something to them?
Yeah, so you just make those common denominator and make that one count.
We got to go around the world. Now, when we're multiplying fractions, do we have to have common denominators?
Oh, no.
We don't, thankfully. That's why I like to multiply and divide, because it's way easier. So multiply, then add. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3, 11 fourths. So I got a negative 11 fourths times negative 1/3. Are we going to get a positive or a negative answer? All right. Can we do any cross-canceling here? What I mean by cross-canceling, the numbers that are across from each other, do they share a common factor? Can they both be divided by the same number? No? Okay. What about with 3 and 11? No. So there's no cross-canceling here. We just go straight across. 1 times 11 is 11. 3 times 4 is? And 11 twelfths is our answer. All right. 1 through 4, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Okay, we'll start with number 4. In case you haven't finished, you can finish it up with us. First thing we got to do with number 4.
Around the world.
Around the world. Multiply and add. So we got 9 halves times negative 7/3. Can I do any cross-canceling here? When I look across from each other, do 9 and 3 have something in common?
Yes.
What could both 9 and 3 be divided by? 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 9 divided by 3 is... If we go ahead and cross-cancel now, our numbers are smaller. And we don't have to multiply as big of numbers. Can I take anything out of 2 and 7? No. Okay? They're both prime. Is my answer going to be a positive or a negative? I've got a positive and a negative. Different signs are negative. So 3 times 7 gives me 21, and 10 times, or 2 times 1 is 2, which would also equal negative 10 and a half. Either one is correct. Is our answer going to be positive or negative for number 3? Positive. Do I have to do anything to my fractions? No? Okay, so then I just have negative 4/5 times negative 2/3. Can we do any cross canceling here? 4 and 3 don't share anything, and 5 and 2 don't share anything. So I'm going to just multiply straight across. I get 8/15. We good so far? Okay. Decimals, I like decimals, so let me just punch it in my calculator. Is it positive or negative? Positive. When you punched it in, what do you get? 3 and 78 hundredths. And number 1, is it positive or negative? Negative 9 and 18 hundredths. Okay? We turn the page. We can't attack this all at one time. We gotta take it piece by piece. Plus we have parentheses taking place. When those parentheses, we know we need to work inside of those first. So I've got negative 1/7 times 4/5. What is that going to give me? Negative 4 over 35, bless you, times negative 7. Can I do that?
Yes, you have to make 7 a fraction.
Okay, how do I make it a fraction?
7 over 1.
Can I do any cross canceling there?
Yes.
What?
35 and 7.
I can do 35 divided by 7 gives me 5, and negative 7 divided by 7 is 1. 4 times negative 1 gives me, or negative 4 times negative 1 gives me,
4.
I got a negative and a negative, so that's going to give me a, and then 5 times 1 is 5. So I got to bring down my times the negative 1/2. Can I do any cross canceling there?
Yes.
Where?
2.
4 and 2, do they share something in common?
2.
Share 2 in common, so 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is, so I end up with negative 2 over, when you don't cross cancel, you get a really big number. Yeah. But as you cross cancel, you're simplifying as you're going, so your numbers don't get as big. All right. Try 5 and 6. start at number 6 and then we'll go over number 5. We couldn't tackle the whole thing at one time, so we do these two first. You got a positive and a negative. Is that going to give you a positive or a negative answer? Negative. And what is that?
Together.
Good. Okay. Then I multiplied it by 100. That's you got a negative and a positive. So it's negative. And then multiply it by negative 10, positive 702 is what you should have gotten. Alright, number 5. Before we could touch or do anything, we're going to go around the world. Make me a shirt that says all around the world. Which gives me what? 63 over 8 times negative 2 over 3. Is there any cross-canceling opportunities here? 63 and 3. What do they share in common? They divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 63 divided by 3 is 21. Is there any other cross-canceling opportunities?
Yes.
Do these have anything in common? We divide by 2. Less thing. Okay? And so we had a negative and a positive, so that's going to give me negative 21 over 4 times 3 halves. Is there any cross-canceling opportunities there? Side by side, yes, but we can't do it that way. They've got to be across from each other. Okay, so that's not going to work. So it just ends up being negative 63 over 8. How many people got that? How many people got a big one? You got like, what was it? Negative 378 over 40. Yeah. If you got that, those two are equal to each other. You just didn't cross cancel anything. So either one of those would have been correct. A school record for the 40-meter dash is 15 and 2400 seconds. Predict the school record after 15 years when the school record decreases by 0.06 of a second per year. What are we going to do, Mackenzie?
You have to multiply 0.600 by 50.
Okay. Per means multiply. This is our seconds. How many years are going by? 15. So 0.06 times 15 years is how much? 0. So we're shaving off 9/10 of a second. So if I start at here and I'm shaving off, what operation is that going to be? What's my new time?
14.34.
Wonderful. All right, try that last one. It's about the exact same way. Okay, so he's on the swim team, or a swimmer, it doesn't say his name, but a swimmer time is 53 and 87 seconds. He's decreasing his time by what?
0.10
Per a what?
swim or 1 swim.
Per each swim. But how many times did he swim? 5 times. So how much is he going to shave off his total time? 1.4 seconds. Okay, so his start time was this. He's shaved off that much, so what's his new time? Does he beat his goal? By how much? 300ths of a second. You were not close. Okay, good job. All right, with dividing, the biggest thing, especially when you're dividing fractions, what do you have to remember about dividing fractions? Keep, change, reciprocal. Keep, change, reciprocal. Keep the first, change the sign, reciprocal. Okay? Reciprocal. So we're not going to do all of these because I know you can punch in numbers and divide numbers in a calculator, but I do want to look at some of the fraction ones. Okay? So, question B. Keep, change, reciprocal. We're going to keep 6/5. We change division to multiplication. And then the reciprocal is going to be what? Negative 3/4. Is there any cross canceling that can take place?
No.
6 and 4 are even. Can't you divide both of those by 2? We've got a positive and a negative, so that's going to make a negative. And 3 times 3 is 9, and 5 times 2 is? Just looking at number 1, is it going to be positive or negative? Negative. Looking at number 2, positive or negative? Positive. All right, you do 3 and 4. All right, if we start with number 4, some of y'all are on still number 4, maybe we can catch up with you. We got to go around the world before we can do anything. So we end up with 8/3 divided by 1/3. We gotta keep the first, change the sign, reciprocal. Well, that's not right. Well, you know, I pulled an Eli, it happened. Okay? Or is there an opportunity for cross-canceling here?
Yes. The 3 and the 3.
The 3 and the 3, that becomes a 1 and that becomes a 1. So we got a negative and a positive, so our answer is going to be, so I got negative 1 over 8. Or if you got negative 3 over 24, you would have been correct as well. Alright, Alright, number 3, -6/5. Change the sign. Reciprocal. Any cross canceling there?
No.
No. So it's just -12/5.
They're both negative.
No, I was testing to see if you're paying attention. I really was. I promise.
No, look, I didn't put 8 as the denominator. I got -3.
Alright, the back part's the fun part. Alright, this is the last page of the chapter. Okay, it looks a little sketchy, I know. You got a bunch of numbers stacked on top of each other, it looks a little sketchy. But we call this, it says you can represent division involving fractions using what we call complex, meaning basically complicated fractions. What are complex fractions, you may ask?
Very complicated.
Okay? A complex fraction has at least one fraction in the numerator, denominator, or you can have it in both. But what does a fraction mean? Division. Okay? So like you look at example 2 here and you kind of get a little overwhelmed. But yesterday we talked about how if you'll do the top part and do the bottom part, it works out. So if you were to rewrite this, it'd be -10/9. What does the fraction bar represent? Divided by -1/6 plus 1. So where would we start? Second set, right? Because that's actually got an operation going on. So here I'm adding fractions. What do I have to have when I'm adding fractions? Common denominator. Well, I don't have a denominator to begin with. So I got a making one. And then what's our common denominator going to be? We're going to multiply by 6, top and bottom. So I've got -1/6 plus 6/6. Oh gosh, now we got to remember our addition rules. So I can go back to my reference sheet, to my addition rules. Do I have the same signs or different? And I can go different sign, subtract, keep the sign of the larger number. So 1 take away 6 is?
Or 5, 6.
Is it going to be positive or negative?
Positive.
How do we know it's positive?
The positive number is bigger.
The 6 is bigger, okay? So now that we've got that taken care of, we can take this and we can do -10/9 divided by 5/6. Keep the first. Change the sign. Reciprocal.
60.
Can we do any cross canceling?
Probably.
Probably.
But I didn't check.
You didn't check.
No, you didn't.
No. Do 5 and 10 have anything in common?
Yes. 2.
5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Do 9 and 6 have anything in common?
3.
They have 3 in common. So when I multiply, -4/3. If you were like some of us and didn't cross cancel, you would have gotten -60 over 45, which are way bigger numbers than -4/3. Do what? You keep the first, change the sign, do the reciprocal, or you flip the fraction over. And you divide fractions. And then you cross cancel. fun ones.
Wait, I want the eliminating
Alright, look at number 5. How can we rewrite that as a division problem?
Negative 1.5 divided by 6.
Okay, how would I rewrite number 6?
You have to go around the
Alright, let's just rewrite it as a division problem first. How would you rewrite that as a division problem?
2 would have.
Negative
Yeah, negative
2.5 divided by, and you're right, you'd have to go around the world, and then you have to keep change flip. Ah! Ah! There we go. Alright, how would I do number 7?
You would have to have a 3-step on
Tell me what would go first.
the top.
All of this is going first, right? So negative 1 2/3 times negative 3/5 divided by 1/3 squared. Ooh, that's going to be a long one. Or it looks like it.
That we do it first.
According to order of operations, y'all try it. I want to see who can get it right without your fancy dancy calculator. You can use your basic calculator, not the fancy dancy one. Who can get it right? And congratulations, you get rated since you can get it wrong.
I'm not on it.
No.
Get it wrong.
If you got it right, you get a piece of candy. Alright, number 7, you gotta get right.
Oh my goodness. Hey, no fancy
Yeah,
calculators.
no. I graduated 7th grade already.
You graduated 6.
No, congratulations. So did I. I didn't come up to 7th grade. Tootsie Rolls and Tootsie Pops and Smarties and Suckers and Starburst and Kit Kats,
Wait, so we're still.
Laffy Taffy. Alright, don't let people see your answer. Oh, that's true. When you got it, let me know.
Good job. We'll get you some. We'll get you whatever.
Not quite, it's close, not quite. Get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. Good.
Well, technically, yes, but you could simplify. Yes.
Not quite. Yes. Get your piece of candy.
Good.
All right, let's look at it. According to order of operations, what do we do first? Let's stop. According to order of operations, what do we do first?
The left parentheses.
The parentheses, the operations inside a parentheses. So we're going to go around the world, multiply and add. So we get negative 5/3 times negative 3/5. Can we do any cross canceling? Yeah.
Everything is one.
Everything ends up just being 1. Positive or negative? We got a negative and a negative, so that ends up being positive. So we got 1 divided by 1/3 squared. So what does that mean?
1/3 times 1/3.
So which gives me what?
1/9. No, 1/9.
1/9. So now I have 1 divided by 1/9. And I have to keep, change, reciprocal. Keep the first, change the sign, reciprocal. Well, 9 over 1 is just equal to 9. So my answer is 9. Good job.
I did that. It was like I saw the 1 and the 1/3 and then
All right, here's your another redeeming chance. So you can do example 3. Oh.
we have to explain this.
No. One like this on the 3 is on the front end. No. Close, but no.
2.269.
No. 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 Okay, so your key here was it said to find, where's that? So far, the customers have ordered will find these are the scores. Should the restaurant reconsider? You want to figure out what's the typical score. Well, how do you figure out typical? The average, and average is the mean, so you have to add up all the scores and then do what?
Divide by how many?
Your answer would have been. You would have got it right.
So all I had to do was divide the 4 by how many?
Alright, pack it up, clean it up, good game, good game. Because it was negative a half, should they reconsider the recipe?
Yes.
Because that means they're not doing too good.
That tastes like a body.